Hey, it's Chase from On the Table Gaming, and today I'm going to talk about these pivoting arcs from Peacekeeper Games, and why you should consider getting them to help make your A Song of Ice and Fire the Miniatures games more precise. We're going to start off by just demoing the Peacekeeper Games Movement Arc for Infantry. And the way this works is you're going to have your infantry unit, and you line it up where it has 2 points of contact. And I'm just going to put my finger down and hold down the template, and I can rotate, pivoting my unit. And as long as I've got 2 points of contact, this unit is doing a perfect pivot. I can even take the unit out, I can put it back in, I can rearrange it. And as long as it's got 2 points of contact, I'm good. This is a really cool tool. It's going to be really useful for really precise games. I'm in a competition setting to make sure that everything's moving exactly where I want it to be. Now this also comes in different sizes. I've got my small base ones as well for my wolves, my mountain that rides, giants down the line, and the same idea where I can pivot it through here to get an idea of where I want it to turn. Now what's really key here when using these, if you just put your finger on the side, if you really push into it, you're going to lose its positioning. And you saw a little bit, it takes a little bit getting used to. You don't want to be really hitting hard, just slide it around gently. There's also a cavalry one as well, where I can put my base here, they can pivot. So an interesting thing with the movement on this, so I can actually align it to my tray, and then rather than move from the base of the tray, I'm going to move my 5 from the arc. And I'm just going to move the arc to the 5 position. So just the arc moves up 5, and then the unit follows. So you're actually moving the unit speed not from the base, you're actually taking into account the distance from the base to the arc as well, which is a little bit over 1 inch. So it's a really cool way to make sure that you're making precise movements. Some other really cool things you can do here is just get an idea of where your unit can move. So I can take my range ruler and I can put it anywhere and just get an idea of, okay, what's within my range here of pivoting and moving? Where do I want to end up? And the other cool thing is I can get an idea of where I'm going to move to. And say I'm doing a regular march, I can pivot. And then these guys can move their 4. And then I can pivot again to give me an idea of where's my unit going to end up. So I can start some thinking here about positioning before I even have to move my unit. So you've got to see the arcs in action, and for any of you that have played games like X-Wing, you know about putting your finger on the actual template so that you can rotate things and move them around it without actually moving the template. This is the same exact idea. And I'm going to be frank, to be honest, at first I thought these were kind of an unnecessary addition to this game. It's really cool that Peacekeeper Games has gotten into this and decided to want to put in extra time to come up with pivoting arcs and cool things like that. But I didn't think it was really that necessary for the game. The pivoting in the game works fine. But, that being said, now after using them, if you're going to be playing this game in any sort of competitive manner, these are really useful. And I think what in the end it just does is just takes out any of that concern you might have from one player or the other when it's like, oh, am I just going to make it or not? And it's like, well, you know what? This is rather precise and we can see exactly, yeah, this is how far you're going to be moving. And it changes the game from sort of a casual beer and pretzel sort of game to something that I think can actually be very competitive, where movement really does matter, and these precise, small millimeters of movement can actually win you the game. Now you can actually measure that with this. So I'm trying to figure out going forward, is this something that maybe I could bring to events, bring my own set and use? It'd be great if my opponent used them as well, but if I was going to run my own store championship, I would definitely have these available for players to use. So I'll put a link to Peacekeeper Games in the description below. Make sure you head on over to their YouTube channel, check out some of their games. They've been a huge supporter of A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures game. And get these arcs, try them out, and I hope they help you get your miniatures on the table.